NASA is sending 3 rockets into the eclipse during the eclipse window and naming them after an Egyptian demon of chaos and disorder. And simultaneously, CERN will be turned on and Biden cancels Easter. What in the world is going on? I received these incredible visions on why they're doing all of this, but most importantly, how it is really up for the starseeds and the angelics and the 144,000 who can align with the highest power of this ring of fire solar eclipse and thus support humanity in our portal into our highest timeline of heaven on earth. That is what we're going to be talking about in this video, so stay tuned. Hello everyone, my name is Z EarthStar Healer. I am the founder of the EarthStar Academy, an oracle of the original creation, and a guide and mission support team for the angelic starseeds of the 144,000 on Earth. Something so extraordinary and powerful is unfolding over this Eclipse Gateway, and the words that keep coming back is timeline war. Well, we're in a timeline war, but God and the people of God are really not. It's those ones that are against God who are at war, because God's plan is inevitable. God's power is all that is and eternal. And so the ones that are fighting God's plan need to exert a lot of energy and make a lot of effort. And it's energy that they're running out of and they don't have access to, may I add. And so some people are going to ask me, who is this they that I'm talking about? Well, they, I refer loosely to these anti-Christic, anti-God, anti-love, anti-human forces that are really here to dominate and control and take ownership of the divine human race and the beautiful stargates and magnificent life systems of this earth. You know, they're here to take ownership of this organic world for their selfish gain. And so they are exerting a lot of effort towards the manipulation of reality here on Earth, because without this manipulation, the organic trajectory for ascension and for evolution here on Earth is this reaching the destiny of human potential and what the Earth was always meant to be, which is a heavenly realm, a divine realm of avatars, divine light incarnate, living in this beautiful planet together and experiencing the highest capacities that these human bodies were made to experience. Without all of this strong effort by these groups of beings that are in control of the political system and the medical system and the education system and all of these other systems, without all of this orchestrated effort to lower human genetic expression and human intelligence, we would very easily be on this trajectory towards heaven on earth. And so this is really the purpose of the 144,000. This is the Emerald Covenant. These are the prophecies of heaven on earth, and this is the inevitability of the destiny of life on earth and of humanity. That is why all of the starseeds resonate so much with helping humans and helping the natural world, and also cultivating this pure love that we feel for nature and the original organic realities and for God. So whatever you want to call this destiny, this future, this time of reality after the end days, right, whatever you want to call it, these beings have to create so much effort to stall and deter, and they try to derail this ascension process. Because as humanities ascend and transcend the frequency fences and the soul prison systems, they will no longer be able to control humans and create energy from our negative emotions and from milking and being a parasite, basically living in the interdimensionals of human consciousness. And so understanding that there is a timeline war, meaning there is an organic timeline of God's plan of ascension, of heaven on earth. This is the destiny of all of humanity and the earth in the organic realities. And then there are these beings that are wanting to deter that timeline and pull humanity into a lower reality where humans continue to exist in this false matrix soul prison, being controlled, being manipulated psychologically, spiritually, and emotionally, and in all ways. This is what they're trying to create through this eclipse portal. Now, the solar eclipses are so powerful because the ring of fire creates this birthing portal. So historically, during this portal, whatever is the strongest energy of consciousness will manifest into reality, because creation really comes through the perfect union of mother and father consciousness. And this is really important for us to understand, because what organically arises through divine union of our mother and father God is creation. This is the creation mechanics of how reality materializes into form. And these are the original teachings of Christ. So understanding that Christ consciousness flowering on this earth, flowering through the earth's grids, flowering through the mind and the heart of humanity, this occurs when we can have perfect union and remembrance and devotion towards our creation, which is the union of our mother and our father God. This is why Biden has canceled Easter. So if you look at the images of New York and Times Square where they're projecting these images, it became this visibility day for a certain minority group. The frequencies are very low. Because when you really think about it, there is this strong agenda. It is an anti-union, anti-hieros gamos, anti-union of Mother, Father, God agenda. Of course, this is the same agenda that eradicated our Holy Mother and projected this tyrannical, false Father God image over human religion for a millennia, right? This has all been an orchestrated effort for thousands and thousands of years to block divine union from flowering in the earth's grids and flowering in the hearts and minds of humanity. Because so long as these forces of creation of Mother and Father God are kept separate and are kept distorted and degraded in human consciousness, true Christ consciousness cannot arise, and thus we are stuck in this soul prison system. So this is why Biden canceled Easter, because Easter celebrates, of course, the resurrection of Jesus. And many people argue whether this was the correct date or if Easter was actually a pagan holiday. Well, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, Easter, on a collective level, just talking about the human collective, usually brings up very beautiful energies of love for masters and love for even Easter, the goddess, for fertility, celebrating nature. And when you think about it, it's actually kind of beautiful how those two energies represent the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And when we go through Easter, we celebrate with all of these different kinds of activities that bring and activate those energies inside of our consciousness. And so I feel that Biden has canceled Easter so that we can basically block as much of those Christ energies from flowering the grids as possible, and keeping humans at as low of a union and true beloved, true love flowering the heart energy as possible in preparation for the eclipse. What happens during a Ring of Fire solar eclipse is that the moon comes in between the earth and the sun. And when you really think about the alchemy of this, it's a process of solarization, because oftentimes the moon represents our shadow, our repressed consciousness. And this is the part of us, that has not yet come into union with the light of creation, with the solar consciousness of our Mother, Father, God. And so this is actually such a powerful portal for ascension, because it gives us each this opportunity to move through a process of solarization. Of course, the Ring of Fire is also another term for a fully dilated cervix when a baby is being born. And so we feel all of these powerful alchemical components at play here with the solar consciousness of our Mother, Father, God, the fertile soils of our Mother Earth, the solar sun rays intelligence of our Father God, coming together in this moment of exhilaration as humanity comes together to focus on one single event that occurs in the sky. And we all, some of us look up, some of us look within, but it's a unifying experience that is very powerful. And so for those of us that are on the ascension path, we can see how we can easily allow those pieces of the alchemy to take us into the highest dimension expressions of that creation magic. However, obviously the antichristic forces are attempting to usurp this energy for their own selfish gain, and I'm going to explain how they're doing that. But This is really why the true Christos activations are our highest priority for our soul family at this time, because this is really the alchemy of original creation. This is the force that brings us into our own highest self, where we remember where we are eternally in union with our Mother, Father, God. This is the life path, the reality of the avatars, the 144,000, the true angelic star seeds that are here to participate and be on this mission for heaven on earth. You know, we are meant to embody this divine Christed love that flowers through this remembrance and union with Mother and Father God in eternal co-creation. And this is how we activate that Christed heart light within our heart and within our aura. And this is absolutely the most important thing that we can do up until this eclipse window and beyond, because this is what allows for the second coming to occur. The second coming is Christ consciousness is coming through humanity, through the earth grids, through the remembrance of our Mother, Father, God. And so it's really up to every single one of us to come into this level of activation and remembrance and divine union inside of our own body, so that we can become a literal conduit and vehicle for this highest Christ consciousness to flow through our body. And this is what makes us an instrument of God, an instrument of divine love, an instrument of God's mission here on earth. So before I go on, I'm about to explain just how they are performing this anti-hieroskamos, anti-divine union, anti-Christed ceremony or ritual through their rockets and CERN over the eclipse. But if you feel like this video is supportive for you, please like and comment and share this video with your starseed friends. These frequencies, activations, and codes are so essential for the starseed on our journey. And this is really how we can navigate these powerful times and override any and all of these funny narratives and timelines that are trying to be spun through these times. This is something that we facilitate and host through our body, through our work at the EarthStar Academy. And I'm just so excited that you are here and we can do this work together. Okay, so in this next part of the video, I'm going to explain to you just how exactly they're using NASA's rockets and CERN to attempt to open a timeline portal to pull in a lower frequency timeline for humanity. So essentially, what CERN does is that it manipulates dark matter. It is there to experiment and to manipulate dark matter, and their scientific excuse for this is that, oh, we don't know what it is, we don't understand. But there's a reason why there is a literal giant statue of Shiva in the courtyard at CERN. Okay, so don't come at me. Almost every statue of some god has a clone version of themselves, because Shiva represents the original Holy Father principle. But down here in the soul matrix prism, there is a false father, tyrannical father, imposter clone that is passing himself off as the true father, right? And is going around in these religions throughout everywhere on the planet, not just Christianity, but Hinduism, and almost every single religion on earth has been infiltrated by this very patriarchal, domineering, tyrannical, false father archetype. I believe this is who is behind these events at the highest level, right? This inverted fallen angelic force that is ultimately trying to hijack and manipulate dark matter, which is really Holy Mother's eternal womb void. This is her power to create out of nothing, of course in union with our Holy Father principle, but this is really the power of the Mother. The teachings of the Mother has to do with matter, right? Matter, materialization, the physical form. And so all things are created into form through the womb of our Mother. And CERN is out there to manipulate, because this force, this fallen father imposter demon being, is all out trying to take this power of womb creation for himself. And so this is why the rockets are named after the Egyptian demon that represents this fallen father archetype, whose name is Apep. So you think about the true original Holy Father principle is about divine right order. It's about sacred universal laws that uphold the domain of heaven, the domain of perfect co-creation, perfect unity, perfect eternality. And the literal opposite of that anti-father principle would be chaos and disorder and pain and turmoil. And so this is the entity that is these rockets are named after. And so by them shooting these rockets literally into the ring of fire eclipse, which of course symbolically also represents the cervix that is fully dilated, this is a attempt to essentially force the creation, right? It's a forced insemination. It's a rape of the universal mother principle through manipulating and opening a portal through manipulation into the womb void realms through the CERN technology, and then shooting rockets that's named after an anti-father into the cervical portal of mother creation of the eclipse. And this is a literal anti-hierogamic union ritual, and I literally am getting nauseous just saying this right now. But the good news is we are actually going to override it absolutely and completely. I mean, it's kind of comical to me that they have to go to these kinds of lengths, to manipulate these hyper potent, powerful portals. There are way more awakened avatar starseeds on this earth than they are prepared for. And of course, the return and the activation of our original mother, father intelligences is something that is unstoppable. Is not something that they can hijack and usurp and control any longer. And I really feel like they know it too, because if you take a look at how brazen and just how out there they are, in the past decades, they really try to hide what they do, right? Because their power lies in being hidden, in mind controlling us and really brainwashing us into not even knowing that they're there. And the fact that they are blatantly naming these rockets after ancient reversal father demons and also canceling Easter, the whole trans movement has hijacked the rainbow, which is about refraction of light into materialization. This is also the original teachings of co-creation of our mother, father, God, and of how light refracts into the different realms. And this is something that they're trying to control. And so, of course, it comes back down to the hijack of the feminine and masculine principles, the disregard for the sanctity of human anatomy and how the female and male body are built and designed to house and be a temple for the intelligence of our mother and our father God. And the fact that they're just so out there, right? It shows us that they're very desperate. They're grasping at their final straws and trying to keep control. They're trying to perform these rituals very publicly because they're really running out of energy and running out of time. So this is actually all really, really, really great news. So the last thing that I want to share is just that, they really modeled these technologies after the power of a fully activated avatar starseed, that's able to interact with the universal quantum source field, with our DNA and our consciousness. We each, when we come into our power, come into our dragon source embodied consciousness state of activation, we are so much more powerful, each and every one of us as an individual, than what those goofy, dinky rockets and machines can do. And so, I share this with so much excitement that this is really our time to rise. This is our time to step into our soul's destiny and our soul's highest mission, so we can come together. We can use this opportunity to come together. So I want to let you know that on April 8th, the Earth, the Sun, and Tau Ceti comes into direct alignment. Stellar alignments like this allow for us to access the higher consciousness of those stellar bodies. And Cetus is very interesting because it is the whale constellation. And the whales, of course, are such ancient primordial holders of the knowledge of creation of the realms. They are really sea dragons. Okay? Of course, dragons in the water. The water represents the womb, the void, the intelligences of the eternal. And the whale bodies originally would be these vessels that allowed for us to swim through the universal body. So the whales would really be true original architects along with the dragon beings, And the fact that we are having this cosmic alignment to Cetus allows for us to tap into the intelligences. Cetus is only 12 light years away and is a very similar sun to our sun. And I believe we've even discovered habitable planets in that star constellation. And so on the 8th, we're going to be facilitating 2 calls. This is a call for the 144,000, the starseeds, the indigos, to gather, for us to come together and pray together, hold space together to discuss the beauty and the magnificence of our Mother, Father, God, in eternal union, and the perfection and the beauty and the love and the harmony that can come through when we come together to honor and experience and embody those frequencies of eternal love together. And so on April 8th, we'll be hosting a call inside of the EarthStar Academy a few hours before the eclipse window, so we can activate, bring in codes and trainings, so we can come into this highest frequency embodiment of our inner divine union state of being, our avatar state of being, and also receive activations and alignments to the Cetus whale constellation. And following that, we will be on a YouTube live stream with my friends Saskia and Lukaja, who are also a divine union twin-souled couple who we do a lot of events with. They are beautiful. And so during this eclipse window, we will be bringing through divine union activations and codes. We'll talk about the prophecies of the 144,000 and these solar prophecies, the solar activations, the solar flares that are creating unstoppable waves of activation. 2024, we're just initiating into the dragon year, because really the end of April is when the solar new year occurs. This is when the astrological new year occurs. Of course, we're in the beginning of springtime, and it's very exciting because this is the dragon year, the cosmically destined year, when the dragon lines will come online fully. Next week, we're also going to have Rory Duff on our YouTube channel for a live stream talking about the dragon lines as well. So it's a very exciting month. But the reason why I bring that up is because the dragon lines are the biggest and most powerful ley line facilitator of consciousness on the earth. And they are really activating and arising through the Christed union of Mother, Father, intelligence, Mother, Father, God, love, and consciousness. They are the conduit and the architecture for Christ consciousness to return to the earth. And once this Christ intelligence awakens in enough humans, in enough of these ley lines, humans will inevitably wake up, because we're all swimming in the water of chi, of energy, of consciousness on this earth. And when we work with our DNA, when we work with the earth's grids, we are impacting the earth on such a massive level. And so this is actually just such a potent and exciting time for us to come together. So this is an invitation for you to join us into our Gridwork mission to completely override. I'm laughing because I just think I feel so much love and compassion for all the beings who might go through a hard time through these times of ritual, but we know that we are here at the pinnacle of the timeline war, and God is winning. God has won. God is existing in an eternal state of victory. And all we need to do is come together as a family to tune into that reality, to tune into that eternal love and harmony and divine resonance, to pull that through this solar ring of fire portal that is so powerful. It is so powerful that these beings are trying so hard to hijack it, but they can't. And this is an invitation for you to join us so we can all participate in this monumental celebration of the birthing of heaven on earth. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel, because we're just in the beginning of experiencing this magnificent prophecy of heaven on earth. And I'm so excited to be here with each and every one of you magnificent timekeeping dragons of living creation, the dragons of the 144,000. I love you so much, and I'll see you on the 8th of April.